Hello everyone, how's it going today? This is Bill with NSPCCC, the Nintendo Super Power Club Challenge channel. And before we get into this game today, I just want to offer a quick apology to the subscribers of this channel. The gap between videos has been getting a little bit longer, and that's for a couple reasons. Number one, real life is getting in the way. And number two, a lot of the games that are remaining, as you guys know, are getting tougher and tougher to complete. Fortunately, that is not the case with this challenge today. I found yet another low-hanging fruit, and it's kind of fun. So this is Bonk's Adventure on the NES, although if you've ever played this game back in the day, you know very well that it was most famous on the TurboGrafx 16, otherwise known as the PC Engine in Japan. Probably one of the best games of all time for the TurboGrafx 16, and it's not a bad interpretation on the NES either. It's basically a Mario clone, although the main difference is that rather than jumping on enemies, you kill them by smacking them with your head. So, as I've said, very fun game, and let's go ahead and jump into this challenge here and see what we're doing today. Okay, what are we doing for Pro Level Challenge? Well, it states, how many faces can you finish level 1 with? And on the Pro level, that is 20 of them. So faces, in case you're not familiar, are basically little points or items or rewards that you get for defeating certain enemies or doing certain tasks in the level. And to get the required number of faces and finish this level, it's going to require getting lucky and very strategically smart in the bonus levels, because that's where the vast majority of them come from. Fortunately, this card does not say you cannot use a turbo controller. And why is that important? Because it basically makes the game a joke. You can fly through the level and jump over many of the enemies just by mashing the attack button. And other than that, it's probably difficult enough by just using the regular controls. But you can do it, it doesn't say that you can't, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to cheese this a little bit. Alrighty, get ready to watch Bonk fly through the air with the greatest of ease in Bonk's Adventure on the NES. Here we go. Alright, here we go, and we're taking off, and as I said, this game is very similar to Mario Platformer, with the major exception being that instead of your foot doing the killing, it's going to be your iron head. And there's going to be a lot of stuff happening here, so pardon me if I try to fly through things here. So as you can see, we're picking up carrots rather, and there's the pause screen with the faces. Remember, we're trying to get 20 faces to complete this level while we kill the first stage boss. Right here we picked up a big Mega Ham, which is going to turn Bonk invincible, and as you can see, you can pretty much run through whatever you want, including fireballs, projectiles, hazards, and enemies. It's not going to hurt you one bit. It'll let you climb up the walls, which is kind of cool. And there's another face. We're going to go ahead and jump on that plant, pick it up. We're going to move on with the level here. Alright, now what you're seeing here, again, I know a lot of stuff's happening, but Bonk is flying through the air at the speed of the moon gravity, which is kind of funny, but it happens because he moves very, very slow when you start attacking and flipping in the air. Don't ask me, I didn't make the game or the controls. That is kind of cool though. You can actually dive bomb your head into the ground and pretty much stun or kill everything just by doing that. Pretty unique attack. And there's another Mega Ham we pick up, which lets us pretty much go invincible and kill everything on the screen. And boom, 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 there we go. Moving on ahead. And you gotta be careful because those things can still get you, those stupid axe attacks. Flying through the air is no guarantee, but it usually does serve as a good way to kill things. And we're gonna get about 3 more faces in this first sector of the game here. Very important to collect whatever you can. By the time you finish this first stage, you should have about 6 faces. And we're almost at the end of this level here. We just have a couple more of these little lizard alien things to get rid of. And there's the first one, second one's right up ahead. Keep on doing the mash of the turbo button and flipping around. Remember, turbo buttons were available back in the days of the NES, so I don't feel guilty about it. And there we go, first section down, 6 faces, 14 more to go. Second part of this level is going to be in the desert, and you got these little cacti you can fly over, and pretty cool. A little purple enemy you can just kind of smash through, and the unique thing about this section of the game is that there is going to be some bonus levels, and it's important to take them seriously because these are where you're going to get the bulk of your faces in order to complete this challenge. And I got a couple warthog enemies here, there's another face, a few more carrots and hams will be popping up, so make sure you grab those if you need them to get powered up and to get more health, because obviously you've only got 3 hearts, and that's not a lot of health. Keep on flying through the air, and eventually you will come up on a bonus level, which is right past this little purple guy, I believe. There's another face. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. And you're going to see a flower come up ahead here. And once you do, all you got to do is grab it, and you will float away right into the bonus level, which is coming right about here. Okay, so on this first bonus level, we need to jump across these canyons without falling down. And as I said earlier, it's important to be very careful because you're going to get the bulk of your faces here. Now, normally, if you try to jump across the easy way, or the traditional way, I should say, you are going to run a high risk of jumping down there, and it's nearly impossible unless you get extremely lucky here. However, if you keep mashing the attack button, or better yet, if you have a turbo controller like I am using here, then it makes this stage much more easy and manageable, and that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. Look at this last one. Look how far of a jump that is. Man, but we do get across with 9 carrots. That's going to translate into, it's kind of hard to see there, but now we should have about 17 faces. Yep, there we go, 17 with only 3 more to go in order to complete this challenge. So I would say we are in very good shape to get this challenge over and done with. Considering that there are 5 sections in this first level plus the boss, I think we've got nothing to worry about here. So we got one more cactus, a couple more simple enemies to take down, including one of these little purple Rocco's Modern Life clones, I guess you could say. I think there might be one more coming up here. And then we move on to, oh, it's just a warthog. And then we move on to the next sector of this level here, which is going to take us up into the mountains with another bonus level. Maybe a chance to get some more faces. I'd say 17 in 2 sections is pretty good. Alright, here we are, section 1.3. I was correct, we are in the mountains. Got a few more of these axe-swiping guys, so they're trying to recycle some of the enemies. That's okay. There's another face. We're now up to 18 with 2 more to go. We're just going to keep on moving ahead. We're going to see these little plants that give out the carrots and the hams. Always make sure to grab them. Now, there's a new enemy you haven't seen before, the dive-bombing eagles. They can be killed by bonking them with your head, like every other enemy can. So do take them seriously because they will kill you if you're not invincible like me right now. There's another face. We're up to 19. Only 1 more to go. Another heart if you need it. Doesn't really matter when you're invincible. We're just going to keep on moving ahead. Very simplistic level design. There's another dive-bombing eagle. And down there on the bottom right, there is another bonus level plant. We're going to go ahead and grab that and take us to the next and final bonus level of this challenge. And wait till you see what this is. Flip through the air. How many times can you flip in the air before you land on the ground? That's basically what this challenge is asking us to do. Now, ordinarily, if you played the game the regular way, you would be mashing the attack button, and your thumb would get extremely tired. I can't tell you how boring, monotonous, and tiring that is to do it the real way, the intended way. So with the turbo button held in, this is basically what you get. Take a wild guess how many flips I do before I hit the bottom. I bet you didn't guess that. 156. Oh, I got 1 extra life. How thoughtful. Alright, well, moving on. We have a plant, another plant, a couple more enemies here, and we're basically done with this section. And that puts us at 20 faces right there. So we've completed everything we need to do, minus beat the first stage boss, and that's exactly what we're going to head up to do right about now, with only 2 more sections to go. This next section is very easy. It's basically a dinosaur. You have to move on past the scales. Obviously, don't be stupid and get killed by them. Jump on ahead. All you're going to do is get up to where the head is. He's going to be wearing a baseball cap. Why? I have no clue. But bounce on the cap a couple times, bonk it with your head, and then his mouth will open. You'll go inside, and you'll be in the last section of this stage. Okay, here we are in the final section before the boss. We are in the dinosaur's digestive tract, I guess. Bloody juices, whatever you want to call them. And we've got uvulas for enemy types. That's kind of interesting and creative, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so we're moving on through, and we got some snails to kill. We got some blood red fish, some protozoa, amoeba, thingamabob, whatevers. Oh, and there's a ham. Go ahead and grab it, turn invincible, and we can just very simply swim right through all this stuff. And I do highly recommend it because these things are very hard to get by without it. Very useful. And we got another uvula enemy to get past. And other than that, just a few more basic enemies you can bonk with your head. One more ugly looking uvula face. And we should basically be done with this section in a few more seconds here. We get to the end. And 22 faces, that's about where we're going to finish with the face total here before we complete this section and get into the final boss area. Just gotta go ahead and bonk the final few bricks out of the way, and then there's going to be a skull elevator down in the bottom left here. Once you get there, hit up on the control pad, it'll take you down this hallway, or down this, this shaft, and it'll lead you to the first stage boss, which is basically a purple dinosaur cousin of Barney and Boomer from Boomer's Adventure on the Game Boy, if you remember that game. So here we go. He looks kind of ugly, and he looks kind of intimidating at first, but honestly, he's a joke of a boss. The way you get through him is very simple. Just get on top of his gut and start bouncing onto his, or into his head rather. I don't know the exact hit count he has on points. I want to say it's around 10 conservatively. So just go ahead and keep bonking him in the head. Watch out for those bubbles. Don't take hits unnecessarily. And before you know it, this stage is going to be over and done with, and so will this challenge. Very, very simple. 1 or 2 more hits. There we go. Starts flashing, doing the strobe effect, and there we go. This is over and done with. Thank you guys very much for watching. This is challenge number 127 now in the books. Now, as for the next games coming up, you've already seen them quite a few times, and rather than rehashing them, I'm going to let you go ahead and guess which one is coming up next. What do you think it's going to be? You've already got the clues. Take a guess. We'll see you next time.